Deep Threat Sports Network fans, welcome back. Hey, tonight we are pumped up. A couple things here for us tonight. We are going to announce our merch winners. We are going to talk all things college football playoffs. We're going to make our predictions. This is the best time of the year. This is what we've been working for all season long. The games have been played. The committee has made their selections, and there is nothing short of lots of controversy when it comes to what teams are in the playoffs. Bryant, Nolan, did you guys get your eyes on some games this weekend? Don't even get too fired up just yet. But let's just talk. Did you get your eyes on the games this weekend?
Yeah, I watched the majority of them, at least for the most part, all of them, at least the whole game. Not every one of them throughout, but yeah, some were underwhelming and some were a lot closer than I thought would be, and then there was a few upsets I did not see coming, obviously. So yeah, my eyes were on the screen.
The night games really solidified the championship weekend. First two games of the day, you could watch the first half and kind of understand what was going on.
Yeah.
Night game is where it was at.
Yeah, so too, because this week's going to look a little bit different for us. So what we have in store this week is, like I said a second ago, all things college playoffs. Tonight's episode, going to make all of our predictions. I'm not sure if Dave may be hopping in here with us, maybe not. If not, we will get his predictions as well for the next episode. But on Thursday's episode, we're going to talk some bowl games, just not the playoff games, just bowl games that we want to talk about, some things that we want to address, maybe get a little bit more leisure conversation going on, like with some of the coaching changes going on, some of these teams that are opting out of bowl games that are pissed off, like Notre Dame. There's a lot left to be desired for that Notre Dame football team, too, that I'm sure we're going to get into here tonight. We went 2-3 on the Book It segment. Brian and I kind of talked after we made the picks a little bit and felt like it was going to be one of those 5-0 or 0-5 type weeks. So when it started out with North Texas not even winning the game, Brian and I were like, okay, 0-5 Book It segment week loading, and we got out of there with a 2-3. So minimal damage, not where we want to be. But, man, boys, that North Texas game, we're just going to have a little casual game talk right here before we get all the way into it. But that North Texas game, boys, 5 turnovers, 2 in the end zone, 1 a pick six, and North Texas was still in that football game at the end somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what about that first quarter?
Yeah, it's bad, Brian.
I know first drive from North Texas, they drove right down the field and scored, and I was like, oh, this is going to be right where we want it to be. And that was the only high point of that game for them. But I was telling Colin for the show, Nolan, I literally pulled all the free bets I had left because they were expiring and put them all on North Texas. Not a good thing to do. You're supposed to spread them out, but I was so confident in that game. I was like, I'm gonna go all in, and that did not pay out, obviously.
Push the chips in. Hey, look, seriously, if I had to go back and rebet that game, I'd bet North Texas again, because like I just said, if you eliminate 2 of the 3 interceptions, and let's say North Texas gets 1 touchdown instead of a pick in the end zone and doesn't throw a pick six, that's a 14-point swing right there. It's a different football game. So I don't know. I think that game goes differently if they play it again. Go ahead.
I think Hawkins' injury kind of put a damper on things early too. Him getting banged up, and he tried to come back. Obviously, was not himself. That kind of slowed the momentum they had, if there was any. So. Yeah, I think that played a part in it too. And also, why was that a home game for Tulane?
I think the American always.
I know it's a on-campus championship game, but North Texas was the number 1 seed.
It's a great question, actually.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's a great question. I don't have the answer to. You caught me with my pants down there, Brian.
Let me check that real quick just to make sure that Tulane wasn't for some reason, but I thought that too. It was weird. But anyway.
While we're talking about those games, were you surprised with the Georgia and Alabama game? Either one of you.
Surprised is the wrong way to put it.
Okay.
Alabama has not been able to run the ball all year. We all fully understand that.
Yep.
But to rush for, if you include the sack yards, to rush for -3 yards on the entire game, not a chance I would have ever believed you. I would have never believed it was that bad.
The Georgia defensive front is really coming into their own at the right time.
Yes.
Like this is a different looking football team. They were a different team in that game. they were proving a point the way it looked to me in that football game and did not take their foot off the gas for their SEC opponent at all. They pounded their ass into the dirt and did exactly what they needed to do. So was impressed in that performance, in my opinion. I thought it was a very impressive performance. Not surprising to me, though, either. I did think Georgia had the chance to kick their ass. That was one of the games that we hit on. Brian, anything on that game?
First, I go back to my point. Tulane was actually the 1 seed, so I don't know how. There's some tiebreaker.
Yep.
There's some tiebreaker because they had the same conference record. But anyway, so that's why I was there. As far as the Georgia game, right what Nolan said, I think if they were going to not really have to worry about the run that much from Alabama, and they kind of laid back and dropped in coverage and covered the players, and Ty Simpson couldn't find anybody open, and their offense actually looked pretty good in the game, and it was not really close at all. So I was right there with you. I think there was either going to be a close Georgia win or a Georgia blowout.
BYU, Texas Tech. Any points you guys want to hit on this at all? I did think that we were going to see more from BYU. I think they came out earlier. They scored, got the lead. And in my head, I was like, okay, all right. This is what I think BYU was going to do in this football game. And then everything just crumbled quickly, rapidly. Never recovered. I think early, too, we saw one of our points that we made on the last week's show, on the previous show, talking about how Baron Morton was like the biggest liability for Texas Tech. I think that's going to show a little bit more down the stretch. And what's funny is me and the family just went to Branson and back. So I had a total of like 8 hours, and I had a earbud in the whole time, just listening to different college football shows, just because I was bored on the ride. Obviously, kids were sleeping. My passenger princess was sleeping. So I was just bored to tears. Right. So I didn't even realize that there was like other shows this week that made the same point that we made about the Baron Morton take. So I was kind of laughing when I heard that. I was like, holy shit, everybody's making this point. So anything else in that Texas Tech game for you guys?
Not really. I think Texas Tech showed exactly who they're going to be the remainder of the playoff. If they're going to make a run, they need to keep playing like that. So they showed out what they can do, and we'll see if they can keep it up. But, yeah, I was hoping BYU would keep it somewhat close. It was decently close at half, but, it really wasn't either at the same time.
I was rooting for chaos, but I was always a fan of just Texas Tech beating them down. And I don't know if you guys caught it during the post-game press conference. Kalani Sitake said he would love to have a third shot at them.
Yeah, dude.
I don't think he does. I think it's going to go the exact same way. They didn't look like they made any adjustments. We called for him to make some type of adjustment somewhere on both offense and defense. I think they just rolled out the same game plan.
Yes, it was not good. More about BYU coming soon in this episode. I'm going to leave that there. The last two games I want to touch on, I don't really want to talk about JMU's game at all. That was what we thought it was going to be. Honestly, it was Troy kept it closer than I thought they were going than they should have. So JMU not as impressive to me in that performance when their life was on the line. Virginia Duke. Anything you guys want to hit on that at all? Great football game.
Duke defense finally played up to the standard, I guess, that we believed when we said they were going to be an over on our season totals. They played up to the standard that we thought they were going to. And, like we said in the preview, if Duke does not turn the ball over or turns the ball over and wins the turnover battle, they will win the game. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, right with what Nolan said. And then, Virginia kind of made those mistakes there at the end that sealed it for them. Darren Mensah played well, had the offense humming too, so that's good to see for them. But, yeah, Duke did exactly what they needed to do, and that was one of the better football games of the weekend.
Two things on this game for me. One, talked about it last week. Chandler Morris is prone to throw an interception. Chandler Morris throws an interception, game over. Seals it for Duke.
Literally.
Also, Duke, most confident bet of mine of the weekend. Glad that shaped out. Bryant, we should have gotten bold and took Duke money line like we talked about, but we kept a little passive and we took the 3.5 points, still got the win, but was very confident that Duke was going to win that football game. I had zero confidence in Virginia.
Should have pushed all my chips into that game. That was my second most confident.
Speaking of confidence, Ohio State, -4, very confident. That's probably my number 2 most confident bet of the weekend. Covered, 45 minutes of the football game? And I think they got flat, dude. I think they thought it was over. I think they thought they had it won. and this Indiana team just has no quit in them.
Mendoza for Heisman.
What was his interview after the game? Did you guys watch that?
Dude, that was one of the worst post-game interviews I think I've seen. That guy's different.
Almost lost respect for the guy.
He sounded
He's
like
different.
a prepubescent teenager.
He looks like it too. He looks like he's 16.
I mean, the tears, like all I could hear in the background was like a Creed song, just like over this guy like talking, just absolute overcoming all this adversity he talked about. And you know what, man? Good for him. At this point, I'd rather have saw a Diego Pavia Heisman interview after than that. That was bad. I didn't know what to say about that.
Charlie Becker's interview is how Mendoza should have sounded.
Dude, that was and his OHFU thing was awesome. Mike comes in here. Virginia got so many calls on that game-tying drive and comes back in and says Indiana is legit. Indiana is legit, dude. There's a reason they're the number one team in this playoff now. Also, I'm really zoomed in again, so if I miss your comment, I got to scroll over, see it, and bring my screen back. So bear with me if I miss a comment for a minute. But yeah, man, so just wanted to touch on those games so far from the weekend. We're obviously not forgetting about them. That's how we got to this point with the playoff announcement. But if you're with us now, stay tuned with us. At the end of this episode, we are going to announce our merch winners. We have 2 people that we have elected, but we're going to make you wait till the end of the show before we do that. That way you don't just win your merch and bounce. We're going to make you earn it one more time here on this episode. So with that being said, let's get right into the playoff bracket. And we talked about this last week. We can't make a bracket we've tried to make our own brackets, but we can't make them look any prettier than what ESPN does. It is theirs. It is their product. So we are going to borrow that from them tonight, give them the credit for this bracket. So let's just get right into some controversial takes. The first thing we want to do here, though, is JMU gets the 12, Tulane gets the 11. With that being said, you see Miami get in here at the number 10. I'm going to go no further than the number 9 spot because everything in front of that we kind of talked about last week is probably what's going to happen. But the 10 and 9 are the most controversial spots. Miami 10, Alabama 9. I'm going to just go ahead and kick it to Nolan or Bryant 1, whichever one wants to get their anger out more first. I'm not going to take this any direction. I'm going to let them drive. So whoever wants to drive.
I'll go ahead.
Perfect.
Personally, I think Alabama should have been in regardless. You cannot what's the word I'm looking for? You cannot punish a team for losing their conference championship game because if they lost and got pushed out, then what's the point of playing?
Question before we go any farther. How are they punishing BYU?
That was going to be my question.
Yeah,
how are they punishing a winning ACC champion in Virginia then? Or Duke then, sorry.
Yeah, but that comes down to rankings.
See, I understand the Duke one.
I'm agreeing with you, Brian. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
I think the BYU thing, I really do think then it comes down to resume, and Alabama's is significantly better than BYU.
They have a way worse loss, though. Way worse.
BYU should be in, and I knew it was only going to take one person. I mentioned one thing, and we just go off the rails. BYU should be in over Miami because BYU has 2 losses against the number 4 final ranked team in the country. 2. That's it.
Yes, I agree with you there. That was going to be my next point.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself.
I don't really get I personally, I think Miami should have been in ahead of Notre Dame. I think they got that right. But I think Notre Dame should have been ranked below them like 3 weeks ago. Like, if you knew this was going to happen, why was Notre Dame – they even said on the interview last Tuesday that Notre Dame was the better team. Why all of a sudden did it get flipped? That makes no sense to me. I think the only really thing that came down to there was the head-to-head because their resumes are literally almost identical. That happened in week 1, and there's some arguments there for Notre Dame being C.J. Carr's first game on the road, etc. But Notre Dame should have been below Miami if this was going to be the outcome they thought would happen. So I don't get how they got flipped when neither of them played, and nothing really happened behind them that changed, that pushed them to this point. So those are my gripes.
No,
listen, I'm going to argue for Notre Dame over Miami here. I understand the head-to-head, but if we're going to look at what the CFP says is the entire body of work, I would argue Notre Dame probably has a better resume than Miami. Miami's losses are to worse teams than Notre Dame lost to. Miami's win against Notre Dame is slightly better than Notre Dame's win against USC. But all in all, total body of work, I would argue for Notre Dame over Miami. If you're going to tell me that it's the head-to-head that really decides it, sure, I'm with you. But when their argument is it's the total body of work, I'm not with you anymore.
See, I agree with you on that. Their losses are worse. That's 100% true. But if you actually compile all the numbers, like strength of record, strength of schedule, they were literally almost exactly on top of each other.
But then Notre Dame's offensive efficiency is better than Miami's.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if we're going to go the stats route,
you
might have me in strength of record, strength of schedule, but I got you in other offensive and defensive categories.
Yeah, this one was so close. It was. That's why I don't get it. Like, I think Notre Dame should have been in because they were ranked above them on Tuesday. What changed to put them in on Sunday? Like, that makes no sense to me.
Do you guys think they took any consideration into we can't just leave the ACC out of this? You think that's why they flipped it?
There is no doubt. There is no doubt in my mind. That is why Miami is in this college football.
I think that's the behind the scenes. Nobody's really talking about a reason. I think you hit that on the head.
But you want to know why I think they can't keep him out? Let's take it back to 2 years ago. Florida State got screwed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still pissed about that, by the way.
Well, you should be. You should be.
Florida State got screwed, and they realized we can't do this again.
I mean, look, I don't know if it has the Florida State tie to it, but it does have the tie of you can't leave the ACC out again. In other words, it's a really, really bad look. With all of that being said, if I want the CFP committee to just be honest, that's all I ask. Don't, like Mike's comment right here that just came in. Either Notre Dame is better than Miami or they aren't. You can't change it in the last week.
Exactly.
100%. You can't go on your interview. What's his name? Yorchuk, whatever.
He literally said on Tuesday that Notre Dame is ranked ahead of them for a reason.
And then they had BYU between Notre Dame and Miami coming into the week. BYU loses, puts Miami right next to Notre Dame, and then they said they bring in the head-to-head conversation all of a sudden. You don't just all of a sudden bring the head-to-head conversation into the equation. You either have it in the equation the whole time or you don't. And here's what I think they should do. I threw this out in the group text on, I think, Saturday night. Maybe it was Sunday morning. Why don't they just go back to the old BCS format and take the top 12 via BCS like standings? It's a computer-generated model that's not going to be wrong, that nobody can fight with because you can't fight with the Dell laptop or wherever it comes from. Why are we not going that route? And then they just roll it out. What is wrong with that?
If you would look at the BCS rankings, if the proposed BCS rankings last year,
look at this.
It's the exact same.
Let the BCS look at this comment coming in. Mike, great minds think alike, my man. Great. Yes. Okay, so if that's the case, then we can't get mad at the committee for last year.
I can still get mad at them. For
sure. But if they blame a computer, you can't, you're just arguing kind of in the mirror at that point. Right now, we can argue with the whole entire committee. Yeah. If they would come on our show, we'd argue with all of them right here, right now. Because I also think that if we're not going to do this via BCS standings, we need to take it in and do like an eye test thing. They need to have the whole entire thing be the eye test. Because let's talk Notre Dame right now. And I am not a Notre Dame fan. I'm the furthest thing from a Notre Dame fan. So I'm not trying to sit here and just have a Notre Dame podcast. But Notre Dame right now looks a lot better than Oklahoma. They look a lot better than Alabama. They look a lot better than A&M at this point. They look a lot better than Tulane, JMU. I don't know if it's Oklahoma yet, but Oklahoma again, if I didn't already say them, because I think they are the worst team in the playoffs outside of JMU and Tulane. Miami, yes, Notre Dame could legit get in the playoffs right now, I think, and win it, or at least make a run at it. I believe. So I think you're leaving one of the best teams out. It's unfortunate. I made the case last week, think it's hilarious. Join a conference. It's kind of your fault. If you were in the ACC and you there's no reason you wouldn't have been in the ACC championship this weekend and beat Duke or Virginia by 60 points. That's your chance to go make it right there. You want some of the ACC rev share, but if you win the whole damn thing, you keep it all to yourself. I heard somebody on one of the shows I listened to today on the ride back from Branson make that point. That's a great point. So, ACC's pissed off at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's pissed off at the ACC right now. It's their fault, man. And also, it's also their fault because you ended the season playing Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, and Stanford. Those aren't resume builders.
I mean, yes and no, but you can't punish Notre Dame for playing bad teams. You can say the exact same thing about Alabama during their midseason run that we were talking about. Yes, they beat 4 top 25 teams, but they also beat the brakes off of 4 awful teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brian, what else you got?
I mean,
I actually looked up. Go ahead, Nolan.
You can't punish them just because of the 4 teams that they had scheduled, and you can't predict years in the future. We didn't know Stanford was going to be one of the worst Power 4 teams in all of the nation this year. You can't predict that from 2, 3, 4 years ago when they're actually scheduling these games.
I mean, we had a pretty good idea they were going to be cheeks. I can tell you now, I think in 4 years they're not going to be great. But, yeah, I get your point.
They'll be better than they are now.
That ain't going to take much, but I'm with you. I do agree with that. I agree with that hot take, Noel. Brian, what do you got?
I was going to say, I actually pulled up what the BCS rankings would be if they were still what they followed.
Love this. Give it to us.
Number 1, Indiana. I'm just going to read the top 12. Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Alabama, Miami, BYU.
What number? So BYU's number 12?
Yes.
So listen, we fix this if we just remove Tulane and JMU.
Yes.
But
that do something
also,
with a playing type game for them or something.
I don't know if you guys saw this or not. I loved Dave's idea in our group text. Top 8 make it, just straight up rankings in the AP or whatever we're using. Top 8 make it. Next 8, you're all playing for the next 4 spots. Yeah. I love that idea.
I love that. And that's where you can bring in some G5 team or something.
Yep.
Because
give them a chance to make it, but they still have to earn it there.
Yeah, at that point, you could say you still made the playoffs. Because you could seriously set that up exactly how March Madness does it in college basketball.
Yep.
You have 4 play-in games. At that point, you made the tournament, but you just made the play-in game. JMU, Tulane, prove yourselves when you're the 16 and 15 seed, and you got to go play would be the 9 and the 10 seed. Yep. Prove yourself there. And if you beat them and you get in, congratulations, you're in. But their social media, anything with college football is going absolutely bananas right now over the Notre Dame conversation. And I get it. Is there any other teams that you want to make a case for? Vandy, Texas, any teams like that you want to make a case for? I made my case for BYU. I said the fact that they only had 2 losses and it was against the CFP ranked number 4 to end the season. I think BYU should have got a little more consideration over Miami. I think BYU's 2 losses are way better than Miami's losses. But anybody else?
No, I think it was between Bama, Miami, Notre Dame, and BYU. And for some reason, BYU was way down on that list of 4.
Smart good.
If we're going to talk about 3 lost teams, I would like to argue Texas and Alabama. I would take Texas over Alabama right now today.
No way.
Arch is looking so much better. We dogged on him early in the season. I am one of those people. Very well, one of those people. But I'm also one of the people that realized the second half of the season, they have changed up some of their offensive schemes, somewhat due to Sark. Somewhat, it looks like Arch knows what he's doing with the football now. And Texas can actually, they don't run the ball super well, but they can run the ball way better than Alabama can. If you can just shut down Alabama's pass game, you have them beat. You can't just choose to shut down one or the other for Texas. I would argue Texas over Bama right now, neutral field.
Yikes. I highly disagree. I mean, I get everything you're saying, but Texas to me is just not it yet. I'm not saying Bama is, but good. there's a real conversation to be had between Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas, and Vanderbilt, in my opinion. Brian?
I think I'm just a hater. I'm not sure I want Vandy in there.
Oh, no. Listen. We all know none of us want Vandy in it, but let's put our opinions aside like we have to do on this show.
Yep.
And discuss the real conversation that needs to be had between Alabama, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, and Texas. Like those.
Brian, you still got those BCS rankings pulled up?
I just closed them out. Well, let me pull them up.
We're going to need you to just open them back up real quick, I think, for this Vanderbilt.
I got it. What's up?
Yeah, where's Vandy, Texas at in this?
Huh. Vandy is 13. Texas is 14.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think these two, as much as the Notre Dame thing and as much as the BYU thing is argued, I think these two also deserve to be argued a little bit.
Yeah. I think Texas's loss to Florida just absolutely destroys their resume.
It's sunk them.
It's the exact same as Alabama's loss to Florida State. Because who beat
but
Florida
at
State?
the time, that's still considered not a bad loss at that time.
It's an awful loss because
it's an
who beat
awful
Florida
loss.
State?
Yes,
Florida.
But you have to break these down. If you put us three in the war room, and us three are responsible for making this bracket, Brian, to your point, but just to push back a little bit, whether at that time it was a good loss, bad loss against Florida State or not, when we break down that whole entire resume, when we get in that room and we look at it as a whole right now, we are going to look at each other and say, this was a really bad loss. Florida State did not progress like we based them on after week one beating Alabama. They actually went the wrong direction the rest of the way. So it's a bad loss. Bad loss. And I was one that made the case last week that said Bama should no doubt be in whether they get beat by 30 or not. We have another comment coming in. I think Vandy and Texas can make some waves. Another comment from Jim in here. 100%. 100% if these two teams were in. But with that being said, that's still a bad loss for Alabama, Brian. You have to look at the whole entire body of work. It's bad.
Yes.
That is
Louisville loss is bad.
Alabama's loss to Florida State is the worst loss out of every single team that we are debating in the college football playoff. Besides like Tulane, JMU.
Yeah.
I'm not debating your resume. I'm talking the Power Four teams. Alabama's loss to Florida State. This is as a Florida State fan. I was going nuts in Mexico. The entire resort knew what was happening as this game was going on. That is the worst loss out of every single one of these teams. So you can tell me Alabama's loss to Florida is bad, but you know who Florida beat? Florida State. You know who Florida State beat? Alabama.
It's the worst loss. I can't argue it. I can't argue because Georgia's loss is.
I'm not sure why they're not punished for the loss to Florida State and a blowout loss to Georgia, like Notre Dame was punished for their 4 points in total losses to A&M and Miami.
Well, let's think about this. Texas Tech, no loss. Indiana, no loss. Georgia has one loss to what? Bama. Ohio State has one loss to Indiana. A&M has one loss to Texas. Ole Miss, who is Ole Miss lost to?
Oregon lost to Indiana.
Oregon lost to Indiana. Ole Miss lost to Georgia. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma lost to Ole Miss and Texas.
Yep.
Miami lost to
SMU, Louisville.
SMU loss is not a great one.
No.
But still, it's at that point we're comparing.
Yeah, I mean, my two biggest gripes for this is Alabama not moving, at least down one spot, in Miami over Notre Dame. That was just when they have been ranked below them, and neither of them played.
You just could have avoided all of it. You could have put BYU in and avoided the Notre Dame and Miami conversation as a whole.
The perfect bracket really should have been Alabama 10, BYU at 9.
Yes. You could have avoided all of it at that point. All of it.
You think? BYU at 9 after a blowout?
Yes. Yes, because their only two losses are to the number 4 team ranked on this bracket.
Yeah, but then you're rewarding them for a blowout because they were at number, 13?
Then you're giving Kalani Sitake what he wants, a third chance at this maybe sometime.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm kidding. But, no, I'm with Brian. For me, Bama's fine to me at 9. But to avoid the Miami Notre Dame conversation, you put BYU at number 10. It's over. It's over. Because then at that point, you can truly sit there and rest your case on the fact that you're not punishing conference championship losers. You can literally – the committee could have went to their interviews on ESPN and been like, hey, these guys played in conference championship games. We're not punishing them for playing that extra game. Cut and dry.
You're rewarding them for getting to the extra game, right?
You made it to your goal. We're not going to punish you for making it that far. Good job.
Yep.
Simple. Very, very simple. And I really thought they were going to do it, to just completely have a scapegoat. And they just made this the dumbest thing ever. Like, it's disgusting to me that this Miami team's in over last year's Miami team. Obviously, it's a different year. But it's disgusting to me that that's not happening. Mike comes in. Alabama got spanked by Georgia and don't drop. BYU gets spanked and drop a spot. He comes back and says clear bias. Dude, I couldn't agree more. That's it. That's what that is. You are not wrong. If we're not going to punish Bama, we cannot punish BYU. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. All right, well, we could seriously pound this into for the next 3 hours if we wanted to. So we're going to take a break from this for a second, and what we're going to transition to here is we're going to make our picks. So we're going to start all the way from the first round, get into the quarterfinals, do the semifinals, do a national champion. What I want from Nolan or Bryant, one, is to take notes. So on the next episode, I'll put some kind of graphic together where we can put our picks up. So if somebody could write down the notes for us, that way we can share with the show as we go on every single week throughout the playoffs. We'll carry it all the way. We'll put something fun together for whoever gets the most right on the show or something, and we will also make sure we get Dave's. So with that being said, the very first game in the playoffs this year is on the 19th, Friday, 7 p.m. on ABC, ESPN. This is number 9, Alabama, and number 8, Oklahoma. Bryant, and also, too, we're not going to give you guys game diagnosis. If you want to throw out a quick hitter of why you're taking this team, do it, but we're not going to do a full game breakdown already. Bryant, who are you picking in Alabama, Oklahoma?
Alabama, it's going to be low scoring. I don't think Oklahoma's going to score much. Neither will Alabama, but they'll win.
Alabama for Bryant. We'll do every game together. We won't just have Bryant do his whole bracket. We'll do every game together. Nolan, who you got in this football game?
Oklahoma.
Wow. You want to tell me why? Or you just Oklahoma and spitting?
Oklahoma and spitting. It's defense. I just talked about it. If you can shut down the one thing that they can do, Bama isn't going to score any points anyway. I have more confidence that Oklahoma is going to luck their way into 10 to 17 points than I think Alabama is actually going to figure something out.
I'm taking Alabama, and one of the reasons is this is going to sound controversial, but the reason I'm taking it is because there is nobody that Alabama didn't want to see more than Oklahoma, and they got Oklahoma. They got a couple weeks, like 2 weeks to prepare for this. There is no way they let Oklahoma get the best of them out of their last 3 games. Alabama is going to win this football game. Make a point. They're going to get healthy. They're going to get right. Give me Alabama in this football game.
I got the notes here, by the way.
Perfect. The next game we're going to talk. Yeah, he's writing them down.
Okay, I was going to type them, but you got them.
The next game that we're going to talk about here is the next one on the slate, and that is Saturday the 20th at 11 a.m. on ABC. Number 10, Miami versus number 7, Texas A&M. Hey, Jim came in on the last game, said take the under, no doubt. That over-under,
It's going to be like 38.
I think it was 41 or 40. The lines are already out as well. So if you want to go in there and get the early lines on FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever you use, go do that. But, yeah, take the under in that game. We'll go Nolan this time. Nolan, Miami or A&M?
Anybody have the latest update on Marcel Reed?
I do not, but I would imagine he's going to be okay come this game.
Okay, then I'm going A&M if Marcel Reed is there.
And this game in College Station, that means something. Bryant?
Over-under is 40.5 in that game. Just saying.
Bama, Georgia, Bama, Oklahoma?
Yes. I'm feeling frisky. I'm going to go Miami.
Damn it, dude. I was going to go Miami. I didn't think you guys were going to go Miami. I'm going to go I'm going with you. I'm going Miami here as well. I think part of the reason, one is next level. Leon says take Miami, so I'm taking Miami. But also with that being said, this game 100% comes down to Carson Beck throw interceptions. If he doesn't, Miami's going to win. All this shit we just talked on Miami a second ago, and here we go. 2 of us are picking Miami. Also, too, I don't think A&M has had very tough opponents. They played Texas, which was their hardest game, outside of Notre Dame, week 2. But they played Texas, get beat. They played Mizzou, who was their second toughest game in like the last 9 weeks. And give me Miami here. Miami's got a point to prove. I'm going Miami as well. Can't believe that. Next game here is Tulane at Ole Miss. Didn't they already play this year?
Yes.
Didn't Ole Miss boat race them by 30?
Spanking.
Let me see.
I'm going to spend not a lot of time here. This game's a 20 to 2:30 on TNT. TNT. Don't forget that.
It was 45 to 10.
Okay. I'm going to go first. I'm going to go out on a limb here and take Ole Miss. Bryant, Nolan, any controversy on this game for either one of you?
No, sir.
I think there's going to be a little bit of a hangover with the whole Lane Kiffin situation, but I don't think it changes the outcome of this game at all.
No. I thought you were about to do something asinine, Brian. I was going to have to kick you off first.
I don't think it'll be 45 to 10 again.
Okay, I think it'll be 45 to 13.
I was going to say, truthfully, I might pick it to be worse. I think Ole Miss is going to come out and try and prove a point that, listen, we don't need him.
What week did Chambliss come in? Was it week 5 or 4?
4.
So this will have been his first game.
This is going to get ugly, dude. Hey, Leon comes in. I'm picking Miami all the way. All right, Leon.
Whoa.
I like it. Okay, now that game was fun, let's do another fun one. This game is Saturday 20th at 6:30 on TNT as well. I haven't looked at the spread on this game, but give me Oregon 42 to 13. This is Oregon, no doubt. Bryant, Nolan?
Yeah, Oregon.
Moving on?
Let me see what the spread is. I just like to look at this stuff while we're talking about it.
Hey, yeah, go ahead.
We'll make a 21.
What is it?
21.
Yeah, Oregon to cover. No doubt. Oregon will be healthy. Oregon will be healthy by then. They haven't been healthy in like 3 weeks, and they've still looked this good.
Yep.
They are going to beat the dog shit out of JMU.
Yep, I got Oregon.
Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw this up so people can try to follow what we're doing here. Then we're moving on to the quarterfinals. So the first game would be on Wednesday, December 31st, New Year's Eve. This game would be the Cotton Bowl at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. This is going to be number 2 Ohio State. For Nolan, this is going to be number 2 Ohio State versus A&M. For Bryant and myself, this is going to be Ohio State versus Miami. Let me ask the question this way. Does anybody have Ohio State getting beat in this football game?
I don't.
I do not either. I've tried, and it's just not going to happen. I think if it's Miami, I know no one took A&M, so this is not to just back my case up on Miami, but I do think Miami matches up better with Ohio State than Texas A&M does, just because of how good Miami is on the offense and defensive line.
They don't have the skill players A&M does.
No.
Not all around.
No, that's why I'm strictly saying the trenches is the only thing Miami has in this football game. But it's Ohio State for all 3 of us, right?
Yes.
Yes, Ohio State.
Okay. Moving on to the next one. Number 4, Texas Tech versus number 5, Oregon for all of us. Anybody have anything tricky here?
Define tricky.
Give me Texas Tech. Give me Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech's the most overlooked team in this game. I think the public is going to hammer Oregon. I think this is going to be like 80% public on Oregon when it gets down to it. I've been a pusher of Texas Tech this whole season. I think all they have to do is have Baron Morton keep his head on straight in this football game. But this game also is the Orange Bowl. This is New Year's Day at 12 p.m. on ESPN. Nolan, Bryant, do either one of you go with me on Texas Tech?
I'm going to go with Oregon. I think they get healthy. Like you said, they're going to be locked and loaded for this game. They should not have to worry about James Madison at all. So I think Oregon's going to win a close one.
I have Oregon as well. I think they're going to be all over Baron Morton's face. He's going to make dumb decisions, and he's going to lose him the game.
Yeah, hey, I don't blame you guys on this pick, but Oregon, I have to stand true to what I've said all season. I fought for Texas Tech all season.
Oregon was my pick. That I think they got the easiest path to the title game.
Okay. All right.
Personally.
So let's go to this next one then. Number 1, Indiana versus number 8, Oklahoma for Nolan. Number 1, Indiana versus number 9, Alabama for Bryant and myself. Bryant, who do you got here?
I'm going to go with Indiana. I think they're just a better all-around football team than Alabama is, and playing obviously way better football. So I'm going to go with the Hoosiers.
Nolan?
I'm rolling the same way. Indiana.
You guys know me. I like chaos. Give me Alabama to upset Indiana. Main reason being what we saw last year. I thought there was no way in the world anybody beat Oregon last year as the number 1 seed in the playoffs. They sat around, got a little bit stale. A team that picked up some momentum, that got healthy, came in, kicked the shit out of them, and moved on. I'm not saying Alabama's going to kick the shit out of them, but what I am saying is Indiana's going to sit around. They got a little too big for their britches. They won the Big Ten championship. They get a little bit stale. Alabama has more to prove at this point. And I don't want to sit here and say Kalen DeBoer's coaching for his job because he's not. They have now made the playoffs. But I do think that seat is getting really, really hot for Kalen DeBoer, seeing how they're getting to this point. They missed the playoffs last year. They have 3 losses this year. They were a controversial team on getting in, borderline not going to make it. Bama fans would not accept a loss to Indiana, no matter if Indiana is the number 1 team or not. There is no way in hell Bama fans are just going to be like, okay, yeah, well, we lost to Indiana. They're the number 1 team. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. Kalen DeBoer knows that. Give me Alabama over Indiana. Call me crazy right now. Go ahead.
I will absolutely call you crazy.
I like people forget that all 4 buys last year lost.
Yep.
In the first round.
It's going to happen.
I don't know if we see that for happening again this year, all 4, but there will be an upset in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. Mine was just Texas Tech.
Yep. Which at that point, you're right. It would be an upset, but it's not really an upset because I think most people are going to take Oregon over Tech. But yes. Next game is the Sugar Bowl, 8 p.m. on New Year's Day on ESPN. Georgia versus Ole Miss. None of us took Tulane. Anybody have Ole Miss beating Georgia?
I don't.
Nope, Georgia for me.
Yeah, I got to roll with Georgia.
Okay. So we're all Georgia in that football game. I'm going to throw this bracket back up. Just makes it easier to look at this point for where we're all at. So the semifinals for me is going to be
Forgot about Ohio State. Oh, never mind. I'm done. Never mind.
It's okay, Brian. It's okay. We already talked about it, but if you want to talk about it again, go ahead.
No.
Okay. All right. Semifinals for myself would be Alabama, Texas Tech, Georgia, Ohio State. Bryant, who is your Final Four?
It'd be Oregon, Indiana, Georgia, Ohio State.
Nolan?
Say that one. It would be Oregon, Indiana, Georgia, Ohio State.
All right, Nolan. Who do you have making the national championship? Give me your 2 teams.
I have Oregon making it to the national championship.
Okay.
Playing against Georgia.
Okay.
That's my picks too.
Bryant's laughing because he has Georgia, Oregon as well. I am taking Alabama, Ohio State in the national championship.
Wow.
I think we're going outside of Mendoza. I think we're going to see 2 of the best quarterbacks in the country go to a national championship. And Ty Simpson and Julian Sand. I think they both get there. I actually talked about this probably 4 or 5 weeks ago. I thought these 2 teams were going to match up in the national championship. I'm going to stick to it now. I think the hardest – Bama's route is extremely, extremely difficult. And it's not going to shock me if I come back in here after they play on the 19th, Alabama and Oklahoma, and I'm like, okay, well, a team that I had in the national championship's done. That's not going to shock me. But I also do think that if they get this momentum and they get healthy and they get right and they play with the chip on their shoulder, nobody wants to play them, dude. Nobody in this bracket wants to play Alabama. Nobody in this bracket at all. So give me Alabama versus Ohio State in the national championship. Nolan and Bryant both have Oregon and Georgia. Nolan, Bryant, whoever wants to go first, who's your national champion?
Bryant, go ahead.
I got Georgia winning it all.
Georgia winning it all for Bryant. Nolan?
Going the opposite way. I'm going Oregon.
Wow. So we're all three going to have different national champions. Okay, this is where the road ends for Alabama. Ohio State, congratulations. You go back to back. We all three have different national champions. Only one SEC. Bryant, SEC. No one of myself, Big Ten.
Big Ten for the third year in a row.
Yeah. So what's funny to me, though, too, is none of us have Indiana making the national championship.
I think it's real hard. If you guys remember, I have Indiana, Oregon. I think it's real hard to beat a team twice. Real hard. Yes. I don't think Oregon's going to get beat again.
So then how'd you pick Oklahoma over Alabama?
Because Alabama has zero offense. Did you not listen to me scream earlier?
Oklahoma.
Right into Alabama's strengths.
Am I missing Oklahoma's offense? Am I missing?
You are, because they always seem to find a way to score 13-17 against anybody and everybody. And I just don't think Alabama can do that. Not against Oregon or against Oklahoma's defense. Would you take Oklahoma's defense over Georgia's defense? Because how many points did they just score?
I would. You're right. It's different games, though. And Oklahoma has John Mateer.
Same football game, same white lines.
I'm taking Stockton over John Mateer.
Do what, Brian?
I'm taking Gunnar Stockton over John Mateer at this point.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
There ain't a quarterback in this bracket that I'm taking Saluka from JMU over John Mateer at this point. I'm getting a little far-fetched there. But seriously, dude, John Mateer is horrible. He's the worst quarterback outside of JMU in this bracket.
In fairness to him, he doesn't really have a lot of help.
Who?
Mateer. Like, Satania's pretty good.
Like a 4.2 40. Just throw it to him.
I get that, but, like, who else do they have?
Deion Burks, baby.
When he's healthy.
They hung their hat on him. I'm just telling you what we heard from them. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's funny we have all three different teams. Nolan's kind of playing along the lines of what happened last year with a team getting all the way from the first round to the championship game. It's same with me.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, I guess both of them did last year, but yeah. So
Dave just sent me a text. He picked Vandy to win it all.
Who did?
Dave.
Good job, Dave.
I'm playing. He didn't text.
Jeez.
He didn't text.
I'm sick and tired of Vanderbilt. I'm sorry.
Dude, it would have been a disgusting moment in life.
The only thing I've liked about Vanderbilt all season was what Clark Lee said yesterday in his interview after the show. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Yeah.
Because personally, I think this is off topic a little bit. I think the teams opting out of bowl games is a little ridiculous.
So we got to make it stop.
Especially Notre Dame.
You guys are going to hate my opinion. That's what Florida State should have done in 2023.
Yeah, but
why? Because you got next game?
Huh?
Why? Because you got absolutely cooked the next game?
No, because we already knew half our players weren't even going to play in the game anyway. So why play it?
And Georgia did this the same a few years before that. Georgia got bounced from the top four after losing the SEC championship game, played, and freaking lit it up.
If you're going to tell me that the entire season that we were just ranked ahead of the team that you just put ahead of me, if you're going to tell me the entire season doesn't matter, I'm going to tell you the bowl season doesn't matter.
Oh, no, listen. I get it. Like, I like the petty shit. I support that. I support that lifestyle. But we have to fix it somewhere. Like, we've got to get back to the roots of what college football was, and we've got to get back to that. This could tie back in all the way to there's got to be a clause when it comes to players signing NIL deals where you got to play the bowl games to get your money. You could really bring this full circle in the college football world right now, is my point. We got to get to a common ground to make it where the bowl season was fun. Dude, we used to flash back to 7 years ago. We used to look so forward to bowl season. Like, this shit was so cool, going and watching matchups that we didn't get to watch all season long, watching some different teams play each other. So we got to fix it. We got to fix it.
Yes.
I agree with opting out, main guys don't even play. Yeah, that's our point. You got to fix all of it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't really mean anything anymore whatsoever. And like Jordan just said, a lot of these guys don't even play. But, like, you get all the extra practices. all the endorsements, an extra game to show out for if you're trying to go to the next level against a good opponent. So there's pros. I think there's more pros to it than cons.
I think the
I could
big con is
also,
getting hurt, right?
yeah, I was gonna say I could also, if I'm Jeremiah Love and I tear my ACL in one of them bonus practices, I just lost myself a top 10 pick.
Yep.
No. Yes. Yeah. There needs to be an incentive tied to it via
I
NIL.
get the whole opting out thing. That makes sense to me. Like as far as a player opting out of the game, but I don't get Notre Dame to say, "Nah, we're not playing."
I mean, what's the difference?
Because it's like Colin just said. It's bowl games are like this is tradition, and it's more practice for your players. These games are fun. It's endorsement money. Now you have to pay. Some of them are paying $500,000 because they're not playing. You're losing all that revenue from the games too. There's a multitude of reasons.
Yep.
I don't know.
With that being said, though, Thursday's episode is going to be a blast talking about bowl games.
Yep.
Yeah, I do. I still look forward to bowl games because these are where, if you are looking for a preview of an episode where we're talking about kind of under the radar guys or guys to watch for next year, these dudes opting out, they're about to show out in some of these bowl games.
Mm-hmm.
Opening doors, baby. Opening doors. So with that being said, is there anything else on the playoff you guys want to talk about? Put a bow on it. We're good till the playoffs start back up in what was that, 2 weeks?
Yep, I'm good with it.
We'd be beating a dead horse.
Okay. So end of the season, we could call this this is now the postseason, which I guess the conference championships kind of were too, but we'll lump them in. The Book It segment this year was 86 and 87. Not bad. What is that? That's 180, like 4 games, 85 games that we bet on or something.
Dude,
what is that? 80 plus 80 is 160. 7 and 5.
That's 15. That's 175.
Oh, okay, I missed it by 10. Sorry. There's a reason I'm on this show, jackass. 175. My bad. And the fact that we only went under 500 by 1 game, not bad. Last year was better, but we're still going to put the postseason in with this full record. Probably not going to see a whole lot of bowl bets from us because of what we just talked about, the opting out of players. We will here, Jim comes in. I can't win a bet on a bowl game anymore. No, that's why we're just talking about that.
From previous experience, I found that whatever you think, take the opposite when it comes to bowl games.
Yes, or whoever has their quarterback playing, take that team.
Yes.
So, yeah, with that being said, make sure you're tuning in for the Book It segment for the playoffs. We're going to make sure we're still putting our bets in. Okay, now it is time to announce. The comments didn't really go through like we were hoping for. A lot of you commented on our live shows and not really the Spotify, the Apple, and the YouTube kind of after the shows were over. So didn't get exactly what we were looking for there. So we kind of dove in and put our heads together on who we see in the comment section a lot, who we see throughout our analysis that we can look at online, who's always watching our shows, and going to announce our 2 winners now. The first winner, we went in and looked at it, has literally never missed a YouTube live show that we've ever done, has never missed one, has been on the show every single time. And the first winner for our merch is Brenda Poole. So make sure that you are getting with us and announcing your what you want from the store. We're going to get through there and we're going to get it for you. So congratulations. You win that one. Let us know what you want. Send me a text. Obviously, you have my number, so send me a text. We will get that taken care of for you. And the next one has been with us. Actually, this guy also won one of our cups when we did our first giveaway. Always with us, been with us since the very beginning last year, since we first started doing shows. And congratulations. That's Next Level Leon in the chat. You are our other merch winner for something from our show. So make sure the 2 winners you're getting with us. Let us know what you want from the store, sizes, anything that you want from there, and we will get you guys taken care of and get you guys something from the store. Bryant, Nolan, anything to anybody out there? Make sure, too, you're liking, subscribing, doing all those things if you're with us right now. You guys good?
Good.
Yeah, but I got nothing else. I think we did. That was a good show to kind of, get everything off our shoulders, what we thought about the playoffs and everything, and moving forward.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So congratulations to our 2 Christmas winners. Obviously, we'll come back and we'll do some more giveaways. This is not the end. If you didn't hear your name this time, make sure next time when we kind of give the outlines to go win something, it's not too tough. It's not like we have 27,000 subscribers. So winning that's up to you, honestly. So when we do our next giveaway, probably circle back, do like an Easter giveaway or something around the Easter time, and we'll get 2 winners then as well. So if you didn't hear your name this time, be ready for next time. But hey, great episode tonight. Playoffs are here. This is what we did this whole thing for, this whole entire season. Bryant, Nolan, see you boys later in the week. You can follow us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Deep Threat Sports, XDT_sports_, Facebook, Deep Threat Sports Network. Until next time, everybody, peace.